What's up, guys? Our Wrestling Podcast back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious, along with Jess Total Package, Craig the British Bulldog, and the Nature Boy Joe, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic, favorite Saturday Night Main Event matches and moments. For audio fans, give us a listen to Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. And check out exclusive content on Daily Motion at Our Wrestling Podcast and on social media. And you're really upset, Jess, to give a follow on Instagram at O.W.P or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast if you're dead. Yes, we are having the culmination of Saturday night's main event coming in just a few weeks. Might be less than that when
this episode airs. It's going to be a few days before.
A few days away.
Saturday night's main event re-debuts on NBC, which was its original home.
Yeah,
was NBC.
If they had any guts, they would use the old theme song. They won't try to do any.
They are. They are already.
Are they really?
Yeah, for all that when they do like the stills for the matches, it's the old Saturday night's main event.
Awesome.
Started on NBC in 1985 is when the first Saturday night's main event took place. On the off week of Saturday Night Live is when it first fell in. So they only did like 4 years or so each quarter. And when SNL would go on a break, they would do a little Saturday Night main event in there. And they stopped, I want to say 1991 was the last one on NBC. And then they only did 2 on Fox in 1992. And then it went on a hiatus until, I want to say it was 06 or 07 when it came back.
Oh,
but the core, and if one of you guys chose moments from there, I am sorry for shitting on the 06, 07, 08. I'm just saying that really the heart lies to me from 85 to like 91, 92 is the heart of Saturday night's main event. We grew up with it as kids. We would struggle to stay up. How many times did I set my VCR? Thank God I did, because I passed out like 30 minutes in, and because it was on at 11:30. Yeah, it was on at 11:30 California time.
If you couldn't afford the pay-per-views and before pay-per-views really kicked in, like this was the only way to see these top level matches.
Yeah,
this was a pay-per-view that they gave to us for free.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it was essentially like when there was only WrestleMania, like when there was only 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4. These Saturday night main events that happened only 4 times a year, those were the other pay-per-views. You know, even though it was only 3 or 4 matches. And, you know, like and at a ridiculous time to like stay up to, but it filled in the gaps.
So yeah, we're gonna go around the table here, and we're gonna offer up we'll do 2 or 3 rounds, whatever time permits. Our favorite. You can name a match from Saturday night's main event or a moment. Doesn't have to be a match. Just so you know, the very first Saturday night's main event was May the 10th, 1985. It drew an 8.8 rating on NBC.
You want me to throw one at you? I'll throw one at you.
Hey, you want to start?
Yeah, because I don't know why this one always sticks in my head. You know how every time we watch a Hogan match, Hogan gets his ass kicked for like 25 minutes, and then he holds.
If this ends in Hogan praise, go on.
It does, because
please continue.
There was nothing cooler than seeing Hogan kick the shit out of somebody for almost the entirety of the match, and Saturday Night Main Event gave us that opportunity. So. The one that always stuck in my head, also because this particular individual was such a great seller, always came to mind for me, and it's Hulk Hogan versus Mr. Perfect on the April 28th, 1990 match. Hogan was trying to prove he was still a top contender as he came back, and
he lost to the Warrior. This is the first Saturday night's main event after WrestleMania 6.
Right, and he dominated Perfect pillar to post. It wasn't even close. And
Perfect that sucked.
Oh, it's fucking great.
And he pinned him. Thank you.
He pinned him clean and went on. And it was just
Mr. Perfect loses his television undefeated streak against Beefcake at 6, and then guess what? He loses to Beefcake's best friend, which is why he's there on Saturday night's main event right after. That's a good one, Dave. Yeah, thank you. If you guys
Oh, you're
Oh,
welcome.
I forgot to mention. Fuck, I fucked up. So also the criteria for this is it only can be Hogan moments. So go ahead, Craig.
Oh,
Hit your,
whoa!
I don't have to
Hold
change a
on.
thing.
I know, right? Because like his centers around all of it, and they always centered a lot of these around him. So I did have to like sift through, and I did have some core memories of non-Hogan stuff. But there's a lot of it where I'm like, no, that's a Hogan moment. No, that's a fucking Hogan moment. No, that's a Hogan match. Like Jesus, because it was really. Do you want to go next, Craig? Sorry. With your Hogan moment.
I will do my Hogan moment. I will completely bypass. Actually, no. I'm gonna.
Okay. This will be cut out.
Here's a Hogan one, and it's gonna take probably someone's, because last 5 years on this podcast I talk about it a lot, and it just really embedded. It wasn't a great match, but for this one moment, I'm talking about Hogan Bossman in May 27th, 1989. Steel cage.
Yeah, I knew we were all gonna have that.
Yeah.
I knew we were all gonna have that. The superplex off the cage.
You had never seen that superplex off the top of the cage. It's still, bro. I was like, whoa! Like you didn't even have to have social media or anything to realize how special and how awesome that was. Like we would just burn out that videotape. Thank God
They were
Bossman
doing it
let him do
around the
like-
horn. There's house shows from MSG and LA Sports Arena where he also suplexed him off the cage. Like, so they were getting ready for the Saturday Night's Main Event, the blow off in a sense. Because at the beginning of that match, didn't fucking Zeus come down? I think Zeus came down to make his presence known that he was challenging Hulk for SummerSlam, and then that ended up started formulating the match for SummerSlam. So that was Zeus. When Hogan came down to the cage, he blocked the cage and double chopped Hulk, and then Bossman pulled him in the ring and started it. So it kicked off the Zeus feud, and he suplexed him off the cage.
Best matches.
My moment is Zeus. I'm just kidding.
Yes, you can't believe it. Never seen a suplex off the top of the cage before. But it looks like McMahon, I think they're both knocked out. Hogan suplexing the 300-plus pounds of the Big Boss Man, but obviously it took its toll on Hogan as well. Neither individual is moving. Not just a suplex, he suplexed him off the top of the cage.
Joe has a Hogan one too, so I'm gonna put my first round in.
I don't have a Hogan one.
It's a Hogan moment, and this is it's one of the first things I ever saw. So like my first introduction was right in the middle of the Hulk and Andre feud, and it was January the 22nd, 1988. Andre chokes Hogan out after his match with Bundy, and that image of him choking Hogan with the entire roster around him trying to pull Andre off. And crazy Hacksaw Duggan comes in there with his 2x4 and hits Andre over the back twice with it, and it breaks and flies out and murders someone in the crowd. And I will never forget like the chaos that was that moment when you're a kid watching Andre's hands legitly interlocked. That's how big his hands were around Hogan's neck, and he was choking him, and Hogan's all like going down. And so like the Bulldogs came in there and tried to get him off, and Andre stopped, headbutted them, threw them over the top rope, and then went and kept choking him. And then somebody else would come. Andre would chop them. They'd go flying over the top. And then they did that. And then all of them collected themselves and got in there. And that picture, there's a picture that I'll post of like 8 or 9 men, like Bulldogs, Jake Roberts, Junkyard Dog, like all trying to pull Andre off of Hulk while he's choking him. And then Duggan's like, oh, take care of it, and comes in there and hits him. And the board breaks, and it fucking flings out to the crowd. I'm so interested to this day. I'm like, what kind of money did they settle with the fan afterwards? Because you know it fucking hit someone. Like, there's no way it didn't. Like, it was just crazy. And Duggan even looked at the board afterwards. He's like, oh, shit. Like, am I not in enough trouble from the Sheik thing? Like, so, like, he just, like, Duggan's rocking him up. So that is my first offering, was the moment. And that was Hogan's rematch from the Saturday Night's Main Event that we're gonna cover.
I was gonna say, okay, so that
it was his
the one
rematch
after...
from the 87 against Bundy. This was rematch with Bundy. He pins Bundy clean, and then he challenges Andre, and Andre's like, no, thank you, and then turns around and goes to walk, and then Hogan turns around to pose, and Andre the Giant snuck up on Hogan without him like feeling anything shift in the ring. He's like, ha, and he gets him and just starts choking the shit out of him, and that set up their February 5 main event match, which we talked about the ratings with that. And that was one of my first ever superstars of wrestling that I watched. It's why I got hooked on wrestling. Joe, finish out the first round. What's your match or moment?
Hogan versus Genius.
Right? Like, I mean, it's got to be a Hogan moment, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess this is it's
right.
Hogan defeating both the Brainbusters and Demolition for the tag titles.
Hogan beating the entire roster to win all of the belts.
He beat the entire roster.
And winning a 30-man battle royal.
No, I selected July 18th, 1989. The Brainbusters win the tag titles from Demolition.
From fucking
effectively ending
2 out of 3 falls.
That's 2 out of 3 falls.
That was on my list.
Effectively and ending their 500+ day record-breaking tag run.
You sack of shit.
He hit Smash with the chair. I think he knocked him completely cold. Arn Anderson covering 1, 2, 3, they did it. I'm heading out of here. I gotta talk to the new champions, McMahon. I can't believe it. Bobby the Brain hit it. The winners of this one, taking his Brain Busters to victory. Yes. Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Brain Busters.
I mean, for me, I felt weird at the time watching it because I was like, I was a huge, I had been a big Road Warriors fan and initially saw the Demolition ripoff, but essentially became a fan of them after you see them like kicking ass. And then on the flip side, having been like a huge NWA Four Horsemen fan, to see Tully and Arn come over and actually,
I forget about that. That as a fan, you were super into that because I remember when Wyndham came over too. You're like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Form the Horsemen!" Like you were totally egging it on.
I was like, "Fuck it, they're gonna do it. Flair's coming over.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. They're gonna reconfigure everything.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill."
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was exciting for me. I think it was the first time I'd really seen I think it was the first time when I had been a fan when I personally saw the crossover of of people that I knew in one federation go to another federation and wrestle, and on top of it was people I liked, and they ended up winning. So like for me personally, that was like it was awesome to see like Arn and Tully beat Demolition. As much as I love Demolition, I thought it was a cool match. It was a cool feud. Seeing them come win the title,
and that was a twofer. It was like that they had wrestled to a DQ the last Saturday Night's Main.
Yes, it was to set up their. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It was a disqualification or whatever, or double count out.
Saturday Night's Main Event did a lot of that stuff, like 2-parters. Like
Well,
nice
that was awesome. Doc 1 point for no Hogan involved, but that's okay. We'll recover. Dave, do you want to start?
I said Hogan beat them.
Okay, I have it. I wanted to make sure I had it right. Let's see. Saturday main event where Hogan was insistent on Elizabeth appearing ringside for match versus Haku, Akeem, and Bad News Brown. She was in danger by Akeem. This is kind of like one of those compilations of where you can see the mega power starting to fall apart, and every little bit. So I don't know. It's hard to explain, but when you start looking at the mega powers and every little thing that they would pause to where Hogan might touch Elizabeth in a certain way after a match.
I see the lust in your eyes.
I see the lust in your eyes, Hogan. And this was one of those matches that they kind of came back to, where this was kind of like the culmination of the mega powers exploding before WrestleMania 5, and this is where they kind of told the story within this match.
To get knocked out.
Oh, you're talking about the main event, the Twin Towers against Savage and Hogan is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That bump where Macho gets thrown out and his ass crushes Elizabeth's face.
Yeah.
And then that's when, and that's when Hogan like picks her up and carries her to the back or whatever.
So I kind of, my bad. I kind of went two because there was one before where they were with Haku and stuff, but the big one is obviously the Saturday Night Main Event 2.
Yeah, because they did a period where Elizabeth would lend her services, to Dave's point, to Hogan. So Macho's like, I'm fine with it. My wife's seen other people. It's fine. Like, we're trying to open a relationship.
Lending your service.
Yeah, it really was. If you think about it, it's like they were trying an open relationship, and then Hogan just got too greedy, and Macho couldn't handle it. It's like any poly relationship where the third person's too much. And Macho Man's like, I can't do it.
Why spend so much time with Terry all the time?
Bullshit. Fuck Terry. He's not even that funny.
Fucking hate that guy.
You laugh at him all the time. I see you.
Macho was the Chris Candido of the relationship.
But that isn't like when the actual live Saturday Night's Main Event happened, because that one was live, right?
Yes, that was the second ever main event.
because Hogan actually blew it and said,
Give me a kiss out.
give me a cue or something. Like
yeah, they were live in
backstage,
the back
like,
or whatever. Yeah, so they came
and
back
he
from a
fucked
commercial.
up, like
"Give me the
pretending
kiss
to
out,
be like at her bedside. And he's like, "Okay, give me countdown." Like, hey, fucker, you're live.
Yeah.
But it was excellent, man. It was
So
excellent.
again, Dave, you're a +1 point. You take Joe's point that he lost for not doing a Hogan submission, and Craig, we're not. I mean, I'm not keeping points, but I will keep you guys appraised of the points as we go on. It's not for points,
There
but it
you
is. Craig, what is your second round offering?
So that was on my list of 4. So now I've only got 2 left. Thanks, Dave. But no one's gonna have this one. But I remember loving the shit out of them. Bulldogs versus Hearts, 2 out of 3 falls. May the 7th,
I didn't put that on my list. You finish it, Craig. What date was that?
May 7th, 1989, just after their 2 months
bullshit.
after their WrestleMania 3.
It's fucking fuck that match. You want to know why? Let me tell you why right now. So the Hearts it was a 2 out of 3 falls. The Hearts retained the titles on that.
On a DQ.
No, but the DQ happened on the first fall.
Yeah.
So the Bulldogs pinned them for the last fall, and everybody celebrated. And Ventura's like, "Guess what, McMahon? I just got word the titles don't change hands." So I was like, "Wait a minute." So the Hearts lost the first fall by DQ. Why wouldn't they just end the match then? If the Bulldogs had no chance to win the titles after that, why keep going?
Come on, Rap. You know, it's just like Chico Santana to cause chaos at a big title match like this. That's not Tito back in the ring. And come on, the double team effort has continued on Dynamite. Finally, Tito Santana coming in and helping out. We've had a bell rung. We certainly have.
The winners of the first fall as a result of a disqualification, the British Bulldogs.
The British Bulldogs victorious. The Bulldogs take the first fall.
But so the Bulldogs win the first fall by DQ. The Hearts win the second fall somehow. I don't remember how. And then the Bulldogs pin them for the third fall. And they're like, the title doesn't change hands on a disqualification. I'm like, so you're saying that any fall that happened, Hart Foundation beat Demolition and they won the second fall on SummerSlam 90 by fucking DQ. And then they pinned Demolition in the third fall and won the titles. How the fuck didn't the Bulldogs win the titles? It was like
booking this shit. Like,
but
actually,
no, it is a moment worth because of my rage. And then on top of that, the match was excellent because it's fucking Bulldogs and Hearts. So it was a really good 2 out of 3 falls match for sure.
Right.
But
and
I remember
6-man. It was 2 on 2.
I was like, what a bait and switch sack of shit they pulled on us on that one. The crowd was celebrating.
Sounds like WCW, honestly.
Wow. So I'm gonna probably dock myself a point. I want to get a match in here because I have so many moments. But I'm gonna do the Rockers versus Brainbusters, 2 out of 3 falls, Saturday Night Main Event, November the 25th, 1989. Possibly, I would say it's still one of the greatest tag matches I've ever seen.
Wow.
And I know, I get it. All around the horn, motherfucker. The Midnight Express has had 5-star matches with, I know, I get it. And there was a lot of great tag matches. I've seen a ton.
Excellent.
But this match to this day, tag teams still talk about the Rockers against the Brainbusters. And to Joe's point earlier, fucking how talented are Arn and Tully? The legacy that they left with the Horsemen and coming from Crockett and then coming over and not missing a beat. Just fucking having teardown matches with Demolition and the Rockers and the Hart Foundation. And man, they came in the apex of the WWF 80s tag division. We always talk about that tag division, just like Crockett's. From 85, 86 on to 90. I don't know of a better tag team wrestling period on both sides in Crockett and in WWF than that fucking 5-6 year span. It's crazy, the name of people. Mm-hmm. And for Arn and Tully to not only win the titles when they came over, to have match of the year candidates with Demolition and the Hearts and the Rockers, there was 2, to your point, Craig, the match they had before ended in a double count out where all 4 guys ended up brawling, and then their rematch here for 2 out of 3 falls. So, Joe, did you go? No, you'd end up round 2, right?
Yeah.
You got to redeem yourself. Don't fuck around. Do me a favor.
Okay. Fine.
Well, I've been mentioned twice. I'm not paid.
Actually,
I'm mentioned twice on these matches.
I think Craig actually said it earlier when I said I was going to do a Hogan moment, but Genius beats Hogan.
Fuck you!
Yes.
God damn it!
I'm sorry.
God damn it! Okay, you took my fucking thing.
11:25:89, and then afterwards, I think
it's
that's
really-
where Perfect destroys the belt.
Yes,
Genius
yeah.
beats Hogan. That's amazing.
It is actually a
there's
great. It's a really good match. It was really funny and like really well done.
Yeah.
And Lanny Poffo for years was like, I can't thank Hogan enough. He's like, because I got more main event matches because of that. Like I got more featured matches because of that.
Oh yeah.
And like, yeah, I was
My
more.
Christmas was merry thanks to the actions of Terry.
Wait a minute. Oh my, right into the head with a championship belt. And the referee didn't see anything in the ring, McMahon. He didn't see it. The referee has been counting the Hulkster out. Indeed, he did not see that, and I can't believe it. Major upset. Reigns wins over Braun. Count-out. The Genius. What an upset, McMahon. Eat your words. Eat your words. The Genius took him.
Yes, fuck.
It throws the frisbee. Whee!
I think on one of Bruce's podcasts, he talks about like that. I think it was this match that somebody had bet him. Oh, you know, like they were talking about, and he had said something like, "I can get anybody over. I can get anybody to sell out a building." And they're like, "Okay, well, how about the Genius? You know, can you do the Genius?"
Oh,
He's like, yeah, I can do the Genius. He's like, I bet you, like X amount of thousands of dollars that I can get the Genius to headline a card and sell out. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'll take that bet." You know,
Just put
and
Hogan
then
in there with him.
and then they put then he put him on Saturday night's main event.
Well, and they had to convince
Against
Hulk
Hogan.
because I guess Hulk was like, I'm not gonna face. Why would I face a Genius? And then they're like,
Yeah.
well, it's gonna set you up for a feud with Henning. And he's like, that's fine. Why can't I just face Henning and we'll do a disqualification ending and then like the thing. And they're like, no. Like so that's probably why Bruce shoehorned him in. He's like, and then I think you should lose by count out because Henning cost you the title or cost you the match or whatever.
Right.
And Hulk was like, he was on the fence about it, and he was like, I'm telling you, like, it's going to be really good. And so they booked the match or whatever, and Hogan's like, yeah, I'm all in. And it ended up that I have it on my list. It's one of my core memories where not only did Genius beat him, Ventura orgasmed everywhere. Like when it happened, like it's just everywhere. Like people were slipping in it, and like
and that's what culminated to the Hogan Perfect match later.
And then so Joe, you get the point. We're not keeping track of points. We're not. But you get a point back because you attach the moment of Henning bashing the belt with a hammer, which is also a core memory. So
funny.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to take two. Was that? Hopefully, I didn't take two.
No, I'm going to allow it, and you get your bonus point back. So great job.
Sorry for even bringing it up earlier since it was on your list. I hate that. So I didn't mean to.
So good.
Dave,
Well, I got paranoid because I thought you were like, what a stupid one.
No,
like,
this is fantastic.
No, it's a great one. It was on my list too, Joe. I thought about that one too. I jumped straight to Hulk and Henning but it culminated because of that moment Joe you're talking about. So that's where it went. I'm gonna get a point taken away, but I'm trying to give Jess the easy
negative 1 point. I'm gonna slide it over to Craig and hold it. Because you're allowed to hold in this game, but if you fuck up and you don't do what I like, then
I'm gonna hold one for you, because the one that I saw we're gonna be talking about it later, but for me one that kind of stuck with me was
do
Randy
this.
Savage versus Bret Hart in '87, November 28th.
Negative 5 points because you're being a fucking asshole.
It's on your list.
Delete that off. Delete. No, just do that.
No,
I was going to say, too, because I cheated and I put it on my list because I was like, as I was watching it, I was like, I fucking forgot about this match and I'm going to steal this match.
You forgot how good it was. And when I was watching it, it's one of those things where it's easy to say, 40 years later, that Bret Hart is an amazing singles wrestler.
He is not.
And Jim was just along for the ride, riding coattails.
That's not true.
And,
Jim is better.
And I also forgot how great of a storyteller Randy was, and
my next moment is Jim Neidhart again. I'm just kidding.
That's ridiculous. Don't even start with that. But watching these guys perform, tell a story, watching Macho use the leg, which he ultimately also used in WrestleMania 8 against Ric Flair. It's like the whole same match, same story, where he almost takes the boot off, and like Elizabeth actually takes the boot off in this match because that's going to help him. Like, honestly, if you just kept it on and back the swelling, you would have been in better shape. But let's take the boot off. That's cool. Just for
let it breathe.
Oh no, that's right. He just rammed it into.
Yeah,
it,
he was rocking his leg up
Oh yeah,
against
because
the wall.
Vince went,
and
"Oh
Vince
my,
is like, "Oh,
his leg
no."
is shattered."
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
stop
Vince is
it.
like, no,
Like a
no,
shadow.
no.
Oh my fucking
You
god!
condone
Like,
that, McMahon. You
the
condone
funny-
the breaking of the kneecap,
Yeah.
McMahon.
The funniest thing about
the fuck
about all of it is like Vince can't describe it. It's like, oh no,
It's
no,
always
God,
okay when your
please.
guy does it, McMahon.
please stop! Like, stop doing what, Vince? Can you tell us what's happening right
No,
now?
I
Can you-
can't. Shut up.
If this was radio, this is terrible. What are we doing? You know?
I have
Yeah.
pre-cum.
So Dave,
What?
I haven't lost track, but I've lost track. -5. Craig's holding a point.
Okay.
Joe got his point back. Craig,
I thought I was doing you. I
please.
thought I was doing you a favor by saving one of the big ones.
Right.
Sorry.
I like
For mouthing off to me, another 2 points. I'm sorry,
Fair
I don't mean to discipline you in front of the other people, but like more 2 points off. Craig,
it's
you're
necessary.
holding 3 points now.
I'm
Joe,
losing.
you are.
I might get some more points. I like low-hanging fruit, and I think we would be remiss if we didn't put this on there because this is obviously
Careful.
Mhm.
33 million viewers,
There it
15.2 Nielsen rating,
Plus 10.
February 5th, 1988. The main event, Evil Twin referees, Hogan,
That's fine
Andre.
to mention.
Just
That's what I withheld.
And guess
My
what, Craig? It's
God.
worth 20 points. You are the winner.
USA, USA.
You can't like it. You have to
It's
include this match on
fantastic.
the. My God,
How
like
lo-
remember, we were just
Craig.
like we were diehards,
Craig.
and we were still like, what? There's 2 refs. Like we didn't know
Craig,
Dave and Earl, or
Craig,
even
to your
like,
point, how long did Vince hold that in his pocket? Like, there's 2 referees,
Yes.
twin brothers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like,
use this
how-
at the right
How
time.
long was that idea in the can of like,
Yes.
we're going to hold on to this for a sec?
Like, I want to know
You
the
got something
day that
going.
he learned that I don't know which Hebner was employed first, Dave. Yeah, it was
Earl.
Dave.
yeah.
Oh, was
So
it
when he
Dave?
found out he had a twin, like from that moment, Vince is all like he was just bursting inside because he didn't want to waste it. What a genius to not waste it on like a house
Yes.
show or like whatever or something stupid like.
Right.
Or yeah, he was like, I'll wait, I'll know when it's right. Like, and people are like, WrestleMania 3, he's like, not yet. And they're like,
Oh.
Survivor Series, he's like, not yet. And they're like, NBC, the first primetime special ever at 8:00. He's like, I think so. Like, and it just kind of.
Andre spins a Hulkster around. Suplex right on top of him. He's on him. 1. We get a 2. That's it. We got him. He got him. He got him. No, he didn't. The referee counted 3. We've got a new world champion. No, we don't either. I called it, McMahon. I told you. I told the world that the Giant would win it. No, sir. That can't be. I don't ever want to hear you doubt me again, McMahon. Never, ever again. Dave Hebner, the referee, is outside.
and he's
Wait
like,
for waits.
And Patterson
You
was like,
guys-
"Oh, you've been holding this idea for how long, Vince? This is wonderful. Like, do it."
you'll split the salary, right? Your brothers, like he got 2 for 1.
Yeah, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna pay you double. Not gonna.
But
do that.
it was absolutely jaw dropping. Like my
Yeah.
God.
And even we
It
go
was
back to we
It was like
reviewed this.
Who Shot JR or some of these other like epic storylines. Who killed Laura Palmer. Like it was just
Yeah.
like
It's this
there's
Scorsese.
fucking two. There's
The
fucking two
Scorsese meme of
referees.
this is cinema. That's exactly what that is.
and to everybody's point too, with all these like 5-star matches or whatever, we reviewed this before video. By the way, we reviewed the main event, and like it didn't matter that Andre was way past his prime, could barely walk. The match was fine for what it was. The controversial count were like right from as a fan. I remember going, his fucking shoulder was up. Like I was so mad. And then like this whole DiBiase coming in and going, bah, 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 and taking like the belt and and Andre going, I surrender the tag team championship. Like all of it. Like it was just
Oh,
incredible.
wait, stop. Focus on that. He called it the tag team
Yeah, the
championship.
WWE tag team championship.
Championship.
I surrender the World Wrestling Tag to Ted DiBiase.
He's French. He's French.
So good. Like all of it
And
was so good.
He had 5 bottles of wine back
And then,
in his defense.
and then, like, when they came back from commercial, Hogan was crying with Gene Okerlund. He's like, how much money did they spend on the
plastic
crying.
surgery, brother.
Just
The $100 bills were
falling
falling out of his
pockets.
pockets. Yeah.
That was the absolute best line of that promo. Like, how much did they pay the plastic?
when I turn around to me, Gene, they were identical. Look at the bills fall out of his pocket on the replay. Like, they were trying to convince us that
So hilarious.
$100 bills are falling out. Oh, that's the best.
And kids are like, why is he crying?
Oh, Craig, that was lovely. So I'm so fucking torn right now because this will be the last round probably. Because I know we're gonna have another Saturday Night's Main Event in January. So I say we have a part 2 of this. Fuck, man. There's so many more I want to say. I'm gonna save one, and I'm gonna go towards the October 25th, 1988 Saturday Night's Main Event. Jake Roberts put the snake on Andre, and Andre has a fucking heart attack. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my core memories. Like Andre, like it was the blow off match with Rick Rude and Roberts, and Andre came down there to like even the sides because Jake hit the DDT and was gonna go for the pin, but Heenan went in there and got Rude disqualified because he kicked him off, and so Jake grabbed Bobby and pointed to his bag, and Andre's like Bubba, and came down, and it was Andre's like second big feud like after Hogan. So he feuded with Duggan, and then he came after Jake, and like,
but what was the match, Jess? Was it Jake versus Andre?
No, it's Jake and Rude.
Jake and Rude. Sorry.
Yeah, it was like their blow off match. So Jake hits the DDT on Rude, goes for the pin. Well, first of all, he tries to take Jake's pants off because Jake kept wearing tights with Cheryl Roberts on it. So like he tries to take his pants off, which is a moment in itself. And then Heenan comes in and kicks Jake and gets Rude disqualified. So he grabs Bobby, Jake does, and it points to the bag like he's going to get the snake out. And then Andre's like, "Bah!" and comes to the ring and gets in there. And Jake has the snake by that time. And that Andre legitly did incredible. He looked at him. He's like, no. And then the whole place erupted because and then Vince goes, you think he's the one thing he's afraid of is a snake? Like, and the whole thing was Andre is finally afraid of something. And like, he kept backing up. He's like, don't. And he kept looking. He's all, Bobby, like yelling for Bobby. It's so fucking great.
Bobby!
Like, and then he throws it on Andre. Andre collapses and he starts holding his chest like he's convulsing. And it was just the coolest shit. And it was awesome. Like, yeah, it was.
Forget how good Andre kind of was.
He was like, he really was. And it's
He was
burned
a
in my memory.
performer to the very end.
So that's my last moment. Joe, close us out.
I'm gonna close us out with.
You've lost a lot of points. No, you haven't. You gained it back. Never mind.
I'm gonna continue losing points, and I'm gonna say
Okay.
November 14th, 1992. Shawn Michaels wins his first singles title when he
Against the
defeats the
Bulldog.
British Bulldog
Great.
for the IC title.
That was great.
Go fuck yourself.
I like if I had done the research correctly, like I guess that was the last time a title changed ever on a Saturday Night's Main Event.
The finishing touches on Shawn Michaels. Pin his back, take it from the top. Pin his back. Oh, wait a minute. No, yes, yes. We got a new Intercontinental Champion. Woo! Ha ha! I can't believe it. I can. Oh, the Survivor Series gonna be something.
But it was obviously they had seen something in Shawn. They were going to start pushing him anyways. Whether or not the stuff with Bulldog had gone down, but
Whatever.
ended up being. But it was one of the reasons why you tuned into Saturday Night's Main Event, because it was Saturday and Sunday mornings. No title changes were gonna happen ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was like you had to stay up late. You had to like wait up till 11:30 to like, am I actually going to see, obviously we were seeing pay-per-view matches.
And if you
but,
go back,
actually
Joe,
see a
and
title
count,
change.
like, maybe you would fill one hand. Titles in general, even the tag titles, there was only like maybe 7 title changes, 8 in the entire Saturday Night Main Event history.
You have to go back and check it.
Exciting at the same time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
So
fatigued.
total is Craig is number 1. He has 100 points. Don't ask me how, because he did the main event. Joe redeemed himself, so I'll call Joe even. I don't like Dave, so Dave is negative 50.
minus 500. Yep.
So we'll go with that. So those are the totals. We'll have a second episode of this. I apologize if anyone is offended by my point system. I cannot back it up in court.
Nah.
That's it.
That's about how I thought it would go, no matter what. For audio fans, give us an
Go
Apple SoundCloud and the Hair Ready Our Wrestling channel, and check out exclusive content on Daily Motion, Our Wrestling Podcast, and on social media. Can you give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019 or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast? For Jess, Craig, Dave, and Joe, this is the O.W.P. sign off. Have a good
Don't
one.
forget as well, our handles on social media is at fuck you. That's
Whoa, bro.
Put that in
That's
for all
awesome.
you shit fans out there. That's I'm just
I'm not-
throwing that in.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's correct. but-
Okay, fair enough. Craig negative 10
Double
points.
check that.
Craig is still the winner, but not by as much as I said before. But he's still the winner.